Hello everyone, my name is Emi Mahmoud. I'm called Emi and I'm really excited to be joining you for the second day in a row. And if you weren't able to tune in yesterday, I talked a bit about consciousness and what internal factors can influence our quest for meaning. Today I'd like to focus on external factors that can influence or positively or negatively affect how it is that we look at the world. Without giving too much away of the poem, I focus on my first experience with the social phenomenon where people tend to follow Boolean logic. They'll tell you you can either be this or you can be that. And again, I can't give too much away. This poem is called The Quantum Effect, and I hope it speaks to you as you've all spoken to me. The quantum effect. How much do you know about dinosaurs? I'm ashamed to admit that I know a little bit too much. The first thing I ever wanted to be was a paleontologist, to carefully brush open the old secrets of this earth, see the place where the dinosaurs lay frozen and asleep they won't soon wake up from, in a bed a species less fortunate and less intelligent than our own, never made, but remain in just the same. For us to find later and wonder, how did this happen? I wanted the outfits, the brushes, the kits, and the distinct honor of getting to give voice to those Jurassic beasts. I was only 5 years old, but I recognized it then. The feeling when something takes your breath away. And I felt it, and I knew it, and I believed in it. I wanted this thing literally so much bigger than myself. Specifically, a brontosaurus skeleton, and maybe if I was lucky, a triceratops or two. Fast forward a few years, and I'm sitting in Sunday school asking a question I had no business asking. Let's just say it's important to know your audience. The teacher had just confidently said to a room full of eager second graders that everything which exists and ever existed in the world is already mentioned in the Quran, and we will know everything there is or ever was to know once we've grown old enough to learn it all. I raised my hand. What about the dinosaurs? The young man spent the next 15 minutes going on a long rant about how evolution, which I'd learned about earlier that week, is not real, and it's absolutely ridiculous to think that people come from monkeys. Correcting him and saying that actually we came from apes and not monkeys didn't really help lighten the mood at all. He then went on to say that we're all being brainwashed by people who think they know better than the wisdom of God, and that I was being totally rude for questioning my faith, after which he sent me to the principal's office. The first thing I felt was confused, the second, nervous, and the third, relieved. The principal looked at me. You, Emi? What happened? Well, I asked teacher Zaid about dinosaurs and why they're not in the Quran, and well, he got really mad and I'm just so confused now. She put her hands on my little 8-year-old shoulders and said to me something that till this day I go back to in moments where I'm afraid to question. She says, "Listen, sweetheart, he's young and reckless and doesn't know any better. Of course the dinosaurs existed." We then spent the afternoon naming all of my favorite critters as she pointed out that a record of species past and present could never fit in any single book, not a holy book or a textbook, not nothing. And that examples of the unexplained are just a funny little fact of life. What my principal gave me that day was not a valuable lesson about the Quran or even dinosaurs or evolution. She gave me the freedom to question and the freedom to believe in anything I wanted to believe, to live a life where every moment has the potential to take my breath away as if I'm 5 years old again. In my heart, I knew the dinosaurs were real. I had at that point spent nearly half my life wanting to dedicate everything to those extinct beasts. But I'd spent even longer learning holy verses from my parents. What Zaid believed was that we had to choose. What my principal believed is that you can have both. And what I came to believe is that you never have to choose. In a classical world where classical physics is real, you might have to choose between spirituality and science, and our initial conditions might be a limiting factor for who it is we become later on, or what we can come to believe. But in this world, where the rules of quantum mechanics are everything, it doesn't matter where you start. You can be anything. Where you start is not really as important as how you move through every possibility. When I close my eyes, I break free from the fears I've been given in this world and actively push myself to imagine something higher, a purpose that makes it worthwhile to trudge through this middle place we're in now and bring forth the usefulness of these sometimes intangible concepts in a world that we inherited from those who maybe didn't know any better. In the end, my principal was right for maybe the wrong reasons, but the outcome was still the same. She made this once little girl want to speak up and question everything and never be apologetic about the way she phases through this multi-hyphenated existence, hopscotching through parallel universes until she finds the one she favors most that day. It's why I'm a sciencey poet, a tomboy, a Sudanese American, an optimistic realist, a research-loving dreamer. I used to want to be a paleontologist, then a neuroscientist, now a doctor, anthropologist, Renaissance woman. It's the quantum effect. When the molecules, or in this case, people we interact with, vibrate just a little bit differently, when they move us differently, when we, in turn, react differently, that is when change is no longer an intractable problem. So here's to breaking the precipice, to moving past the event horizon, solving all our once intractable problems. Here's to a reality that we can all be a little proud of, one that we worked hard for, one where our other selves will grow just a little green with envy, one where Zaid somehow said, "Beats me, but everyone loves dinosaurs." I'm sure God wanted to be a paleontologist too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me, and I hope that was a fun little lift for the day, and I hope you come back to it and remember that you can be anything. As simple as that sounds, sometimes the basics are the things that keep us going.